We've been through ups and downs most of our life, and we're not going to take it. We're going to go out this world fighting. Yeah, we don't give up here.
Brothers don't always get along, they don't always like each other. JT, as the younger brother, was already somewhat of a caregiver from an early age. Those two were just inseparable.
We were I would say the total opposite. He was into skateboarding, outdoors, and I was into art and heavy metal music. We became really close and we stayed by each other's side.
Here's a kid in a motorized wheelchair and a kid riding a skateboard behind him. JT just was like blazing a trail and people followed.
His level of progression was beyond everybody else's. He got so good so fast.
We were in Portland one time and we came to the stair set. It was a 9-stair to 11. We all thought it was nearly impossible. And we watched John do it and over and over, just keep slamming and slamming and slamming. And we finally pulled it. Everything that you think is impossible, you pull it off.
There aren't many people like JT that you come in contact with, and if you do come in contact with someone like him, you're fortunate. As open and loving as JT was for everyone else, he had his own turmoil inside.
He wrote something one time about the figment of his imagination versus reality. He didn't know where the line was sometimes. He said, "Mom, what if I get trapped in hell and the doors close forever and I can never get out?" I don't know how to answer that.
Schizophrenia is one of the most serious mental illnesses that we face in behavioral health. This is an illness that really tears families apart.
It's easy to take care of Michael, but we couldn't take care of JT, except to love him, you know. He knew we loved him, I know that, but we couldn't fix him.
I knew something was going on because his behaviors were very alarming that week. It was JT's choice to stop his medication, and unfortunately the consequences were not good, but it was still his choice.
Well, I get a text from somebody that said, "Did you know John Norton?" And I said, "What do you mean, did know?" And right then and there, my heart dropped. I just can't imagine the pain that he was in.
During the last months of college, my brother took his life. I had realized that I should make a documentary about my brother.
I think Michael is a very realistic person. He knows his limitations, and he knows when JT left this world, there was nothing he could do about it. He's decided to do something to honor his brother.
Sharing John's story and all of our stories, it needs to be talked about. It's something that I feel is kind of swept under the rug and no one really wants to deal with, but it's a huge issue within our community.
We all think we're invincible when we're kids, and growing up, we don't think anything's really going to happen to us.
We need more families like this one that are willing and have the courage to face this and to address it.
When people talk about JT, or if they, they know that kind of what our family's going through and stuff, and I'll say, but I said, Michael's working on a really incredible project. So that kind of turns it around to uplift.
I think the fact I've been through a lot of stuff definitely helps me going forward. And art helps, makes me feel like I'm not the only one going through things. Other people are too.
Working with these families, you have to help prepare them for the idea that their son is, may die at a very early age. But to have that happen for an entirely different reason in the same family, to have a terrible mental illness like schizophrenia affect the other son, it's just devastating. Any other rational, sane human being might have been tempted to give up on their own if they'd seen that happen to their brother. And, I don't think that's going to happen to Michael. I think even though he is limited in his weakness, he's so strong psychologically and mentally.
He wants to definitely leave an impression on this world before he goes, and he's quite aware of that.
So we're going over proposals for a possible sculpture at the Johnson Field Skate Park in honor of JT. I want him to look like he's watching over the park.
JT came to the Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. I believe he was in either 7th or 8th grade at the time, and did a presentation about the need for a skate park. We immediately agreed that we wanted to take it on as a cause.
He left such an impact when he was here that the impact now that he's gone, I feel like just reverberates.
JT was that one person that would give a helping hand for anybody, and I think about that all the time, and I want to be the same way, you know. He'll be a legend forever in this town and community.
It's okay to be sad sometimes, you know. It's just life. You have to have the darkness to appreciate the light, I guess, and, you know. I just feel like people need to have a little bit of happiness in their grief.
You can't dwell on the negativity of the situation, because if you do, you'll never get out of it. We got to take care of this. We got to, you know, pull together as a family.
JT always said, even in some of his writings, he said that his brother would always be at the front of his mind no matter where he was, because he loved his brother that much. I believe they saved each other.